Welcome to Work-Based Learning. The goal of work-based learning is for students to explore possible careers and learn how to network with business owners in our community. Networking is the best way to make connections and improve job opportunities. Your work-based learning coordinator information is listed on this slide by high school. Please make sure you locate your work-based learning coordinator's information and their picture, as well as their phone number and email address. Work-based learning students will develop employability skills, including positive work habits and attitudes. Please make sure you read through the student handbook to learn all the advantages of being a work-based learning student. Review procedures discussed in this video and turn in your signature form. Let's talk about placements. Every work-based learning student must have a job prior to the first day of school. There are a few guidelines in regards to student placements that we must follow. Placements within a family business are not appropriate, as parents and other family members are not allowed to be classified as the student's mentor, as they are the ones grading the student on their evaluations. Due to safety precautions from the state, we as coordinators are not allowed to enter into private residences to visit home offices for our job site visits. Employers must have a physical office location that we can visit. Work-based learning employers must have a business license and must meet all legal requirements set forth by the state of Georgia. Work sites must be free from discrimination and exploitation. Any form of harassment is not tolerated, and students will not report to a job site where they feel unsafe. If you have any questions regarding your job site and whether or not it is an approved work site, please reach out to your work-based learning coordinator. Maintaining employment is a requirement of being in work-based learning. Students are expected to stay at their workplace for the entire school year, with the only exception being that they are working towards their career field. If you are considering changing jobs, you should discuss this first with your work-based learning coordinator and should have a valid reason. Job hopping for a 25-cent raise is not considered valid. After obtaining approval from your coordinator, you should give a 2-week notice to your employer. Changing jobs without approval and quitting without notice could affect your grade. Also, be sure to always follow company procedures. In an effort to provide the best learning experiences for each student worker, it is imperative that the employer agrees to provide a variety of work experiences that will contribute to the attainment of the student's career objective. The training plan is a document that explains the knowledge and skills learned throughout your job placement. It is important to work closely with your employer and work-based learning coordinator to help identify the specific task that will be learned on the job, outside of your basic communication fundamentals. Each 9 weeks, you will receive 2 evaluations. One is from your employer and is divided into 3 sections. Personal characteristics, which includes attitude, flexibility, initiative. Interaction with others, which includes respect and teamwork. And employer expectations. And this one includes punctuality, attendance, customer service, etc. The second evaluation will be from your coordinator. There are 6 categories on the coordinator evaluation. They are responsibility, attendance, attitude and respect, productivity and academic performance, self-management and time management, and hour requirements. Examples of both evaluations will be posted in Canvas for you to review. Each evaluation is a 100-point summative grade. Hour requirements. To receive elective credit for work-based learning, students must work the minimum hourly week requirements. These requirements are equivalent to the seat time a student sits in any other class during a regular school week. For example, if you have 1 block of work-based learning, you are required to work 7.5 hours a week. This is equivalent to the amount of hours you spend in math or English on a traditional block schedule. Each day, your classes are 90 minutes, or 1.5 hours each. times 5 days in a week equals 7.5 hours per week. That number doubles if you are scheduled for 2 blocks of work-based learning. The work requirement increases to 15 hours per week. Students in work-based learning can earn their work hours at any time throughout the week. Students are not required to work every day. Working only on the weekends is acceptable and often preferred by many of our students. Attendance and record keeping. Attendance is very important for work-based learning in order to protect your grade. Work-based learning attendance will be kept by signing in and out through your coordinator. This counts on your coordinator evaluation, and your work-based learning coordinator will give you details on when and where to sign in or out until you are fully released as a work-based learning student. Failure to do so is considered skipping and will result in a discipline referral. If you are taking classes in the building, you must be present and on time to each class. Your attendance in school is just as important as attendance to work. Communication is key. It shows responsibility and maturity needed to be successful in the workplace. Dual enrollment and work-based learning provide students with flexibility in their schedules for work. Students that participate in both must understand they are responsible for communicating with the work-based learning coordinator with any questions regarding assignments, meetings, paperwork, events, etc. Your work-based learning coordinator will share the guidelines that are in place for success in both dual enrollment and work-based learning. We will conduct monthly meetings electronically or in person. We will post the video on Canvas and students will have 24 hours to view the meeting and complete the quiz on Canvas covering the information. We will send a message on Remind and Canvas once the video is available. The quiz grade will count as the student's attendance to the meeting. The dates for the meetings for the year can be found on your Canvas homepage. Once quizzes close, they will not be reopened, and students who do not complete the short quiz will receive a 0. We do not see students on a daily basis, and this is the most effective way to guarantee students are receiving monthly updates and information needed for students to be successful in work-based learning. Okay, be sure to listen. Let's talk about timesheets. Keeping track of the hours you work is a state requirement. Because of this important requirement, timesheets are a summative grade with points being deducted for turning in late. Failure to turn in within 5 days will result in students' early release privileges being suspended. The timesheet should be completed in blue or black ink with no scratch-outs. The timesheet should be filled out entirely with your name and your company's name, the days and hours worked, and total hours worked for the month. You will need to sign your timesheet as well as one of the supervisors or managers listed on your work documents. Each timesheet should include only the hours worked for a particular month. If your company pay period starts in the middle of the week and it is a new month, then you should start a new timesheet. The timesheets are due by the meeting date, but are always a month behind. As an example, your August timesheet will be due in September. Please note that you, a parent, or a friend cannot sign the timesheet. Students, even if they are a manager or a team lead, cannot sign your timesheet. Effective communication is priceless. The work-based learning program uses multiple platforms to communicate the information needed to be successful in the program. Additionally, the Canvas Learning Platform will be used to manage requirements for the course. Lastly, make certain to enroll in Remind to stay current with all messages. Work-based learning provides networking opportunities to enhance work-based learning standards. These special events are required and will be graded based on attendance and professional dress. Each event will cost approximately $10 payable on RevTrack and will be due 2 weeks before the event. Special events are considered field trips in regards to school attendance. In the event we are unable to hold the special events, alternative activities may be provided. These are examples of former special events: Rising Professionals, industry tours, employer appreciation. Even though work-based learning students are released from the school building during their designated work-based learning block, students are still expected to follow all regulations and policies set forth by the Paulding County School District. The expectations of our students are to represent well both in the classroom and at the workplace. You are representing yourself, your school, our program, and your work-based learning coordinator. Here are some items to remember. If you do not attend school, you should not report to your job unless you have special permission from your work-based learning coordinator. If you are sick and cannot attend work, you must call your employer before you are scheduled to begin the work that day. Please schedule all doctor and dentist appointments outside of your work and school hours when possible. No show to work, not completing monthly assignments, will result in removal from the program. Following company procedures when you are going to be absent on a scheduled workday is imperative. Monthly assignments are required for work-based learning, and they must be typed and submitted on Canvas. Your coordinator will share assignment due dates and guidelines for uploading. Remember that these assignments are designed to give you experience with employability skills that many employers voice students do not have. All of these assignments will be compiled into a portfolio, which is a state requirement. Every assignment is designed with this in mind. Some may require you to use an online site, but directions will be provided in Canvas. Georgia Best is a coordinated effort between the Georgia Department of Labor and high schools throughout the state. The work-based learning students will be eligible to receive a Georgia Best certificate if they complete all of their work-based learning requirements and have positive attendance and behavior. The Georgia Best certificate is a certificate awarded to the students saying that the students are work-ready within our state. This is a great resume builder and wonderful talking point when students enter the workforce after graduation and/or college. Grading policy. Your meeting attendance and monthly assignments, as well as any field trips, are formative assignments. All monthly assignments should be completed and submitted to Canvas by the posted due date. Partial credit will be given for assignments turned in late up to 5 days after the due date. The employer paperwork, monthly timesheets, employer evaluations, and coordinator evaluations all count as summative grades. Additionally, there will be a final exam at the end of each semester. Failure to complete all assignments may jeopardize future participation in the work-based learning program. All required employer paperwork is due to the work-based learning coordinator on the first day of school and must contain all required signatures. Please double check that no areas are left blank. If a question does not apply to you, mark it NA to indicate that you have addressed the question. Look closely at the provided checklist to ensure that required documents have been completed. Failure to return paperwork may require the student to begin staying at school during your work-based learning block. Contact your coordinator to turn it in early or at open house. During our first digital learning day, you will complete a safety sheet on Canvas. Safety is an expectation for each student to do their part to be safe on the job. You will review your responsibilities, look at 18 different unsafe acts, and visit several websites, including OSHA and the Georgia Department of Labor. Harassment is an area that we want to make certain our students are informed and aware of in order to maintain safety in the workplace. Also, there is a list of required employment documents from both the state and the federal government that you will locate at your place of employment. Safety is a priority, and if you encounter any situation that makes you feel uncomfortable, report to your coordinator before the end of the day. Let me repeat that. Safety is a priority, and if you encounter any situation that makes you uncomfortable, report to your coordinator before the end of the day. See something, say something. The See Something, Say Something campaign is a Georgia initiative to help make our community a safer place. We ask our work-based learning students to especially keep their eyes open as they arrive and leave campus. If you happen to see something that looks unusual, simply say something as you enter into the building. There is no harm in reporting something that just looked unusual. A good person to report to would include the school resource officer, an administrator, the front office clerk, a counselor, and last resort, your next block teacher. Please, just make sure you say something. Please follow Remind First Day procedures. In general, if you have submitted your paperwork prior to the first day of school and having received permission from your work-based learning coordinator to leave, you may do so without stopping by his or her office. If you have not completed and submitted your paperwork, you must go to the coordinator's office or classroom before leaving on the first day. What to do on advisement testing days? Pay attention to the school calendar and give your employer advance notice that you will be late to work or early on advisement or special testing days. If you have any questions, please contact your work-based learning coordinator. Please remember that you are not allowed to be on campus during your work-based learning block unless your internship is located at the school. If you haven't done so already, please join our Remind. Remind is the best way for you to communicate with us. You can message us directly without anyone else seeing your message. We will respond to the messages, but please be mindful of the time. Messages after 9 p.m. may be answered the following day. We are looking forward to a great year. If you are a Teaching as Profession student, please continue watching and listening. If you are a work-based learning student, this concludes your orientation video.
As we continue our orientation, there are a few pieces of information specific to our Teaching as a Profession practicum students. I am excited about the school year and can't wait to see you all. Internships will not begin until the third week of school at the earliest. We allow our mentor teachers time to set procedures in their classrooms before the interns enter. I will send reminders regarding placements, so please make sure to respond to my messages. For the first week of school, you will report to 924 for the days that we are in person. The first Friday is a digital learning day. During the second week, Monday through Thursday, if you drive to school, you may work from home during your work-based learning block until we receive placements for our internship. If you are a bus rider, you will be in 924 during your TAP block until we begin interning. Please check your schedule on Infinite Campus daily to make sure that you have not received any schedule changes. On Friday, August the 11th, all students will report to North during your TAP block so that we can cover the mandatory reporting. We will work during the first week to get started on assignments and to cover due dates and expectations for portfolio assignments. Please keep in mind that you will have weekly assignments to complete to make up the portfolio. If you successfully complete all 3 TAP courses, complete the portfolio, and pass the End of Pathway assessment, you may receive credit for the Introduction to Education course offered at Georgia State Colleges. The TAP practicum is considered an unpaid internship, and TAP students will complete the work-based learning paperwork included in the folder along with the TAP confidentiality and permission form. Where the paperwork asks for an employer, just write Teaching as a Profession intern and no address is needed. Leave the mentor spaces blank. Parent signatures and student signatures are required throughout the packet. The paperwork packet is required back before students are allowed to begin interning. Please submit this during the first week of school to me in room 924. Now let's talk about dress code. Student interns represent the profession of teaching, and one responsibility of becoming an educator includes the expectation to display appropriate dress while at their internship. I understand that I am requiring a stricter dress code than that of the high school, but the students are interning at the elementary and middle school, and what is allowed here may not be appropriate for their off-site internship. In the packet that the students received does include the dress code for teachers in our county. While the students are not teachers, they will spend 90 minutes a day in their internship and represent the profession. Students are not expected to meet the standard required for educators in our county, but they should represent in a professional manner. Students are not allowed to wear shorts or skirts to their internship. Dresses must be knee length or longer. Jeans without tears or holes are acceptable, and t-shirts have been approved for the TAP students. All clothing should be properly fitted and modest in nature. The schools are gracious to allow our students into their classrooms, and the least we can do is be respectful and dress appropriately. The opportunity to intern at the elementary school and middle school is a great experience and one that students truly enjoy. Many of our students will go on to become our future educators, so we need to protect the program. If you have any questions regarding dress code expectations, please feel free to let me know. You've joined the TAP Remind, as this is the best way to communicate with me. You can also send messages on Canvas once we receive our Canvas pages. I'm excited for the year and look forward to seeing you soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Thank you.